Hi, this is Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com. Today's more of an investing type tutorial. I'm going to be using a couple of the indicators from globaltradingsoftware.com. I'm going to be using the harmonic pattern, auto harmonic pattern indicator, and also the manager, because I wanted to understand the volume behavior where we are right now. So this is STNE, Stoneco Limited, on the weekly time frame. It's had a great pullback just recently, and we've formed what we would call a BAT pattern. The harmonic has recognized the BAT pattern has completed the automated completion zone. But before we look at that, I just want to look at some of the points that I do when I'm starting to frame the chart. So I'm looking at major support and resistance. I've been alerted that this has happened right now, but I still need to frame the chart. So we have clearly, this is when back in 2019 we had the 2018, sorry, we had the listing for this particular company. We came down like a lot of IPOs. Sometimes we get that low, we've come up again, and over this period of time of a couple of years we've formed a tight range, and we'll be able to define the tops and bottom of those ranges quite easily with where my arrows are here, and just by forming a zone. It's not an exact price because we've got lots of touches with 3 wicks in this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks in this point, the highest point being where my cursor is right now. So that defines a zone. Again, with the bottom zone here, we've got the bottom end here and this pivot point where the BAT pattern started. So we've defined a zone in price. That price, this zone here, for example, the lower end of that is 44.22. The upper bound is 46.91. So it's a range in price that we don't want to get stuck into. So then we're going to move further up. We've had some pivot points here. This C pivot in particular, if we just zoom in a little bit here now, this C pivot on the way down also tested this other zone here, and we got 3 weekly candles testing this support, and another one here which rejected support and went on to make a new all-time high. So we can't dismiss this zone of price. Smaller zone of price here for a support resistance up around about $87, then obviously that high as well. They're coloured in purple for me on my chart because they're not as strong as the rest in yellow. Now, once we broke out of this range, and this range was there for 2 years, we had a great move up here. And then what we've had a corrective move down. We've found a higher support level right now, but more importantly, our automated harmonic pattern software has identified this as a BAT pattern. Not only that, the D pivot has completed in the automated completion zone. The automated completion zone is a mixture of fib retracements and extensions to project where that high probability zone is, where that D pivot should finish for the resulting bullish trade, investment, direction, whatever you want to call it, to happen. That has happened right now. Last week, this is where the manager comes in, that D pivot rejected the lows on higher than average volume. That's what that cyan dot is above. Okay. Not only that, it's a green candle, so it has more volume than that previous candle, which was red. That red candle had more volume than the previous candle, so we can see the volume actually for the last 3 weeks has increased on this. Last week though, we had a green candle, so we've got an accumulation candle, so there's more buyers in the market than sellers. That really just makes the brokers drive up the price and people pay it. And this is where we are right now for this week. So for me, this is a longer term play. So if you're playing options with this, you're probably 18 months out. For me, I'm going to buy physical stock, but I'm not going to buy it. Everybody says, why don't you buy at the lows? Because I could get stuck in this range for another 2 years. I don't know. I've not got a crystal ball. All I know is I'm using the top of this zone that I've identified get over that whole $47 for a $47.13 entry. Yes, it's lower than where we are right now, but the potential rewards up to $100 for new highs is phenomenal. We've got a decent risk reward in there. And if I only risk $1,000 right now on this, so if it takes me out, I lose $1,000. Okay. When I get to this point here, this previous C pivot, we're at about $1,400 profit. I could make it risk free, okay, or I could just put the stop just below this support and resistance zone. But when it breaks through this point, I can add some more shares, because once it's broken through the C pivot, it's more likely, because these are sort of they're not as strong resistance zones, more likely to go on and test those highs. So I've got options here. I could risk $10,000 right here by a crap ton of shares, and if it does push through, buy some more shares. There's lots of different options, but the main thing is we've had our auto harmonic pattern on the weekly time frame complete this BAT pattern. Now this is very difficult to do on the weekly time frame and also in that automated completion zone. We just need to be sensible with the entry. We don't want to get stuck in this trade in a horrible range, so we want to make sure we close up above here and we go for it. So basically I've used the auto harmonic pattern, and I'll put the link in the description for this, and I've used the manager, because the manager helps me understand the volume. It's not just the price action, the volume here of this candle at this bottom there. If I get another, I've got a higher high, higher low. That's a bullish engulfing that we had as well. So that pattern we can see here, this is a bullish engulfing candle from last week. Now usually 90% of the time the follow-on candle from that is a higher high, higher low, but lower volume than the previous week. Now this week is not over. We're near the highs of the week so far, so far so good. If I finish this week with a higher high, higher low, that momentum should then continue and hopefully push through there. But I'm not going to press the button until I've cleared this resistance zone. Hopefully that helps, guys. Harmonic patterns are, they don't happen every single day, but when they do, they're very, very strong. Now, obviously they happen more often on a daily time frame or a 4-hour or an hourly time frame. The bigger time frame you go up, the less often they happen. But when they do, boy, they are good signals to take. So hopefully this helps, and I'll speak to you all really soon.